What's going on, everybody? This is Dave from This is Pop Punk Promotions. I'm here with Steve from Delay the End from Salt Lake City, Utah. How's it going, Steve?
Doing good, doing good. So happy to be here with you.
Really appreciate you coming on. Let's jump right into it. So, when and how did you guys form?
So, it's kind of it's a long story. So, pretty much, so I used to be a teacher. I was a high school teacher for about 10 years down in Southern California. And so I had been playing in music since I joined my first band in 1996, 97. My first two bands were like ska bands because again it was 96, 97, 97 through 90 to 90, 99, that area, 2000. And anyway, so that's when I got into it. And then I was in a punk band, played bass in a punk band for a few years and then kind of got married and we all started growing up. And so I started teaching. And it's just one of those things you can't kind of let it go. You try to be an adult and it just doesn't work. So when I started teaching, there was a math teacher at my school, this guy Doug Porter, who he was a guitar player, and so they had like a teacher band. So I'm like, come join the teacher band. So I'm like, all right, let's do that. And it wasn't punk rock. It was like classic stuff. It was stuff we'd always perform and play. But anyway, Doug was kind of, my age and kind of we grew up kind of the same background there. So anyway, fast forward move, life changes, I've, changing jobs, careers, doing stuff, end up here in the Salt Lake City area. And during COVID, Doug shoots me an email and he goes, "Hey man, I've been writing some songs," because he has another band that he plays in, and it was awesome. I was like, "Oh, this is great." And so it just kind of got me inspired to, you know what, I got to get down and start writing music again. So we started collaborating and be like, "Hey," I'd start recording stuff and I'd shoot it over to him because then he would kind of put it in, and he'd kind of add some effects, kind of clean it up, polish it up, pretty much was producing stuff I was doing. And I'm like, "Yeah, I got to do an album." And I'm like, "Dude, Doug, let's just do it, join up. Like, let's do it." So we kind of got together and started collaborating our bass player. So this Mike lives four doors down from me. Uh, we moved here and he like comes over to help us, unpack. And we start talking. I'm like, this guy looks kind of familiar. Turns out we actually played in a band together back in 2001 for a little bit. Like I had my band, and then our drummer had these other friends, and they're like, "We want you to play bass." So I went and jammed with him. He was there, so he's right down the street. So I'm like, "All right, man, I want you to play bass. I don't want to play bass anymore because I've always been a guitar player." And so that's kind of what happened. And so it's kind of been one of those things where we just kind of started doing it and started loving it, and it's just kind of developing into where we are today, I guess you can say.
It's really cool, and the world really is a small place. That's what I tell people all the time.
I know it is. It is. Except there's not enough drummers. Let me tell you, we're currently between drummers. We're looking at our third guy right now in the last probably year, 2 years. Just because we're old and it's hard to find people. I don't think a 20-something-year-old college kid's going to want to play a bunch of 40-year-olds. But you know, it is what it is. It's not big enough. There's not enough drummers. Let's put it that way.
You never know. Anything's possible if you just believe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right on, dude. So you guys just dropped Zombie. How's the response been to it?
I think so far so good. I've never been what much for like pushing everything on the internet. Um, but we got people out there that like to listen, and we'd love to grow more and more. It's really it I I really like it. I'm very excited about how it turned out. And it was funny because it was just a case where, like, I always say, cover songs are my guilty pleasure. Growing up getting into music in the '90s, it was a lot more popular. Me First, Gimme Gimmes. I know MXPX was one of my favorite bands that would do cover albums. Newfound Glory, all that. So I've always been a big fan of it. It just seemed like a thing to do. And I was driving home one day and I hear Zombie on the radio. I'm like, "Oh, I love that song." And I'm like, "Dude, I bet that would be awesome." And first thing I always do is I check online and just see, is this overdone? And there really like wasn't any like punk rock covers of it. everything's like new metal sounding or like super like chill, mellow, piano and beautifully done. And I'm like, well, let's try it. And I go, I think I could do it. And we just kind of did it. And we're happy with it. We're proud of this one. We put a lot of effort into it. I mean, we literally, it, I hate to say we've been working on it for over a year. Not because we're that slow or bad at it. It's just, let's keep working. Let's sit on it. Let's kind of work on it and do what we can. And then we just been waiting to the right time to put it out. And I just think it's the right time. So it's pretty sweet. We like it.
That's
We're proud of
awesome.
it. We hope people do.
You guys just wanted to take your time and do it right. I mean, gotta
Yeah.
respect that. That's really sick.
Yeah. We don't put ourselves on any timeline. When we're dead, we'll be done. So, it's not, we got jobs, we got families. It's not like, oh, we gotta do this to get it out because we don't care. It's fun. This is our hobby. This is what we love. It's our passion. And I don't want to rush anything. We want it to be, you can tell when a band does something and they're passionate about it, and you can tell when a band does something because they just need something out there. And I've done both. And I can tell you, I'm not proud of anything I did when I rushed it or tried to just put something out there. I just do it right or don't do it.
Hell yeah, man. That's really sick. So who did you guys record it with and how was the process?
We do it, believe it or not. And it sounds pretty cliche, so Doug's had some experience in the past doing it. His brother did a lot of recording and playing down in Southern California, and so he started learning a lot about how to do it right and make it sound good, and he puts a lot of effort into it. So pretty much like the process goes where I will, with delay the end, I pretty much write everything and then I'll sit down and I'll demo something out. Some songs, some songs I've worked on for years, others, quicker. I'll come up with something, and I usually will do it just instrumental. Then I'll shoot it to Doug, and I'll say, Doug, what do you think? What do you do? And he usually his response is always, "Let me take liberties." He always says, "Let me take liberties," and I said, "It's fine," because I look at it as it's a collaboration. It's not my music; it's ours. And so I send it to him, and then he'll sit down and pretty much track everything out, do it all, then shoot it back to me. Then I can kind of, what do you think? Give me I give him the thumbs up. I've got, I'm like quality control, I guess. But he just gets me. Like that's one of the things I love about it. He just knows what I like and what I want it to sound like. So he'll get back to me. And if I have suggestions, I'll say, well, let's do this, let's do that, little things. But generally it comes back and I go, this is way better than I thought. Then it gives me a time to sit down and really start to write words to it. Like sometimes I have words already written. There's been songs where I had words written, and I'll demo them out, but I don't like to send those to him. I like him just to focus on the music. And I've completely switched them, just 100%, just scrapped them and put others in. And then I'll record my vocals, and then I'll shoot those over to him. Then he'll take it and kind of polish them up, and get it back. So that's kind of how we do it. And so far, nobody's ever like people have been complimentary on what he's done. And in fact, he keeps getting better. And he's one of those guys, like he'll sit down and he'll start studying up on it. He's put a lot of money and time into his equipment and learning how the process and doing it right. And so we've been real lucky with it so far.
I'm so jealous. You guys literally do everything.
Everything ourselves. Yep.
That's so sick. So what would you say your favorite and least favorite thing is about the writing and recording process?
I love writing. I just love when I think the part where I enjoy the most is when I sit down and I've got time and it's like, okay, I've got an idea and I'll start playing it and I'll jump on the computer and I'll put some drums in. I'll be like, okay, I'll have my riff, I'll play it in, use the click track, get it in, see how it sounds. And then I'll be like, okay, let's throw some drums in there and kind of see what I like and the feel of the song. And then just that process to me is um the most fun and okay, whenever I get that that message from Doug with like the song. He's like, "Here you go." It's that moment of listening to what it sounds like. Like that's incredible. Least favorite is actually writing words. Um, I like to do it, but I'm very self-conscious of what I write because I try to write from like what I'm feeling, what I'm going through. I like to have lyrics that mean stuff because I there's a lot of great bands out there, but there's also a lot of bands where I think that they're just lacking. Like it doesn't the thing that drew me to punk rock back in 1994 was what they were saying and how it was relatable. Like before that it was like Nirvana, Pearl Jam, loved all that Smashing Pumpkins, and they had stuff there too, but it just seemed like that punk rock was a little bit more for like the kids, more for those that just, it was just stuff I could kind of go, okay, I get this. This is drawn to me, and I want to make sure that that's I can do something that can help someone out, but also not sound stupid or cheesy or like sound like it's just kind of thrown on paper. So that's hard for me to do, and not be. And I would say I don't like least favorite. I still enjoy the process, but that's the part that's the hardest for me is coming up with words that I feel like it's getting easier now, but the first few songs where I like send them to Doug, I'm a terrible singer, and what I think every time I send him, I'm like, is this stupid or not? Are people gonna like this or not? And once somebody told me, they said, "Who cares? Just put it out there." And I'm like, "All right." And since then, it's been a little more, and I think it's being more vulnerable because these are things that I feel, and I want other people to appreciate that. So, there's my answer.
You've got my respect. I mean, there's no way that I'd be able to do that. I mean, I would try and then I would just say, screw it, like I'm done and move on to something else. So, I tip my cap to you, sir.
Oh, well, thank you. Appreciate it.
So, you're from Salt Lake City, Utah. How's the punk rock scene there? Do you have a favorite local band, a favorite venue?
So, um, I used to be, so I did come out to school out here in college 20 years ago. I used to play out here. I was really involved in the scene. I knew everybody. It's been a while. I would say in the last couple of years, I've started to kind of be a little bit more familiar what's going on. And partly just because, again, I always say, oh, it's because I'm old. It's not really because I'm old. It's because I have a full-time job that I travel a lot for work. So when I'm home, it's like family time. I have a lot of kids. I have 8 kids. So my life's crazy that way. But I do have some favorites. I really like Bridge the Gap. Those guys are awesome. They're just some incredible songwriting. Chad, I love his voice. So they're probably my favorite local band. I really like Racist Kramer as well. They're kind of like the bigger, they're pretty popular out here. They've been around for a while. And uh, and I was actually I was able to see them last year, and they did a good job. It was really cool. But those are some that I really like. And Yeah, those are the two that I think are probably our best bands in the scene right now.
Right on. So, who would you say your biggest influences are?
Oh, good. Let's see. So again, 90s punk rock, Fat, Epitaph. I mean, that's where I grew up in. Favorite band, the band that got me into the scene was Face to Face. This was the time, Dookie had come out. I was kind of listening to that, but it was like, okay, The Offspring, Rancid, Bad Religion, Stranger Than Fiction. I like that one a lot, but it was the day sitting in my buddy's car, and he pops in this tape and he's like, and it was Don't Turn Away, and I was like, who is this? And he's like Face to Face, and I thought he said Ace of Base. I'm like, this doesn't sound like them, but I loved it. Like I was hooked right there, and from there I never stopped. So they've been a huge influence. Bad Religion, I really, love them back in the day, and I would say in the last couple of years they've also been, coming back as just heavy in rotation. No Effects, No Use for a Name, Love Strung Out, like. I think there's a lot of influences I have that show up randomly, and sometimes it's kind of like from a deep cut. I love what I did here. Here's my interpretation of it somewhat, you know. Also, Chaser is huge influence. Mike is a friend of mine, so he was really one of the reasons why I really went forward because I had done something. And he's like, "Get the band back together." I'm like, "I should." Yeah, you know what? I've spent time with him a lot. We talk, and he's just like, "Just do it." It's a hobby. It's fun, and so he's been a real big supporter, all coming through. Um, and I don't hate to say Blink is has always been an influence just because they're such a big part of that you know that scene there. I mean, like I was into them before Dude Ranch came out. Homegrown, Your Hat. I've seen them a ton of times. Love them, love them. Seeing them back together makes me so happy. So a lot of those bands are, I think, good influences, but also like I'll have elements like Jimmy Eat World. I love them a lot. Like the I think, and I hate to say it, I think Chase This Light was their last album that I thought was pretty good. But first three records, Clarity, I Will Die on This Hill is a perfect record, start to finish. Nothing beats that. I just think that's it's art all the way through. So, trying to take elements of stuff I like and throwing it in because it's like I want to take things that people have done, but I also want to have my own take on it. So I think I have a lot of influences, and I can listen to a song and I'll be like, "Oh, this right here, that was a inspiration for No Effects. This No Use for a Name. This one here, Bad Religion." And I'll tell you our song Solitude. It's kind of the same chord progression as Generator, which is one of my favorite Bad Religion songs, and try to change it up so it doesn't sound like I'm copying them, and I wasn't trying to, but I just that was the inspiration from it.
Hell yeah, dude, that's freaking sick. So I got the $1 million question for you. If you could
All right, here
tour
we
with one
go.
of those bands, who would it be?
Of all of them,
Out of all those bands, who would you tour with?
oof. Uh, can I add a couple of them together? I would love if it were to me if I could just put together a tour, pick three bands that I would love to go. It would be Bad Religion, Face to Face, and Chaser. Um, just because I think that would be so cool. It would be such a rad show.
That would be
I'd
so
want to go just
dope.
so I could see those three together.
Well, maybe someday, just keep grinding, keep
I
putting
know.
in the blood, sweat, and tears.
Absolutely. We'll see.
Hell yeah, man. So now I'm going to ask you some non-music questions to go away from me to get to know you as a
Do it.
person. I did this with the other bands. You ready to rock and roll?
Let's do it.
All right, first one. Favorite dessert?
Dude. It's got to be brownies are my go-to. Okay, they got to be. Don't put nuts in them. Just plain brownies. If you put chocolate frosting on top, even better. Um, my wife thinks that's too much, but I like it that way. And chocolate chip cookies. Those are my two. Those are my two favorites.
I think brownies are very underrated. I think they deserve so much more love.
Yeah, yeah. And don't do too much with them. Like, some people do all these crazy things, and as a guy, and everyone's like, "Oh, you like cookies and brownies? Do the Nope, I don't think they mix well together. I've tried it, with like the cookie brownies on it doesn't it's not the same. It's not the same. Keep them simple.
I think I'm with you on that.
Yeah, yeah, don't ruin them. You don't have to. Too much of a good thing.
Don't ruin a good thing. I love it.
Right.
What's your favorite color?
Blue. I like blue. Always like blue. And although as you see behind me, my guitar's orange, my newest guitar, and I love it. I think it's beautiful. Orange is kind of coming onto me a little bit more. Just because I just think it's not it's an underrated color. It needs the love. So I would say blue and orange. Those are my favorite colors.
Good colors, solid colors. If you had $1 million and you could donate it to any charity, which one?
Ooh. Um. So I have a sister that has a charity that they do a lot of work for kids in Africa, like students and helping, tutoring and kind of giving them mentors and helping them with education, things like that. So I'd probably give it to them because, I know where it's going. I know what they're doing with it. I would also probably give some to Punk Rock Saves Lives. I those guys grind all the time, and Rob does so much. He's out and about, and he's really just that guy loves what he does. He's doing it for the right reasons, so that's what I'd say.
Very sick. All right, last question. What are some places in Salt Lake City that visitors should check out?
Uh, well, I usually go outside of it. So I live about 30 minutes south of Salt Lake City, but Salt Lake City is much easier than saying, Eagle Mountain. But I would take the day and I go down to southern Utah. Um, Zion's, Arches National Park, the national parks down there. But if I would say one favorite place to go is Escalante, Utah. It's kind of down by Zion and all, in that area there, but it's super like it's not as popular, so not a lot of people go there. And there's like a camping area called it's I think it's Calf Creek Falls or something, but there's a waterfall, Lower Calf Creek Falls. You go to the camping, it's like a 2 mile hike or so up. Most beautiful waterfall you've ever seen. It's giant, like cove area. I mean, the walls are like 250 feet high, and you can swim in it, swim to the waterfall and all. It's absolutely beautiful. My favorite place. I've done that hike multiple times. By far my favorite place to go. Because no one's ever there, and it's just so cool.
It's always good when you have a place yourself.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it's nice. Because well, you go to other places, you go to Zion's and Arches and even Bryce Canyon. There's just cars. Like I remember the first time we went to Arches National Park, like Canyonlands and Arches, like the same day. But you basically like sit in traffic and you see things, and then you like try to find a place to park and run out and walk there 2 seconds, look at it, get back in the car and drive. These other places you can go and you just be like, no one's there. You can hike around, you can do a lot of cool stuff. So there's some really neat stuff. I mean, the state it's super underrated because people are like, oh, Utah, people are weird there. Yeah, sure, they're weird everywhere, but I will, I'm a California guy at heart, and I've lived in California, I've lived in Hawaii, I've lived in Idaho, I've lived in Kentucky. I was born in South Carolina, so, I've been around. California beaches, nothing beats it. Southern California, absolutely. But in Utah is one of the most beautiful, takeaway beaches. It's got everything else, and it's incredible.
So when I go out there to visit you, you can take me to those spots.
That's right. You got it. We'll definitely do that. Can head up to Yellowstone too. I mean, that's technically not Utah, but it's close enough.
Hell yeah, dude. Sounds like a plan. Well, I really appreciate you coming on and chatting up a little bit, and the support means the world to me.
Oh, absolutely. No, I appreciate you doing this for us and getting giving us an opportunity to share a little bit more about us, and hopefully we can get people to, check us out. Because I'm not going to shove it down your throat, but at the same time, I just want people to be able to say, hey, you know what? I like this. I want to write music people can connect with and that has meaning. It's got a lot of meaning behind us. We don't take anything lightly. I think every song we put out has a meaning and has, hopefully somebody can connect to. So,
It's all right. You can shove it down their throat.
maybe we'll see. We'll see
Sorry, I
how
don't have a
we
you don't
go.
have a choice.
Okay. So
So
awesome.
so for the people that are going to check out this interview later on, where can they find your music at?
We're on all the streamings. So, Spotify is the popular one everybody always does. I don't really care. I'm like, I don't really care. We're not here to make money. We're just here to do art and get it out there. So it's anywhere. It's Amazon Music, Apple Music, YouTube. I mean, YouTube literally just posted it and somebody shared it from our page, even with a comment about it. I'm like, I didn't do that, but cool. So those are the places to find us. We are on Instagram. Mike, bass player, he takes care of the Instagram account. I don't do anything with that. I am considering starting up a Twitter because my brothers tell me it's a lot of fun there, or X, whatever you want to call it. Facebook, we're here. But yeah, pretty much any of the streamings delay the end. You should be able to find it. But we want to invite everybody to go in and just, if they like it, I always tell people if everybody just listens to it once and if they like it, just share it with a couple other people. It's gonna grow, and that's what we want to do. And yeah, we would love to play. We're hoping to get out there and even really playing live because that's what I miss the most is just getting out there in front of people. And so we've been doing, rehearsing a lot, getting our set list together. Luckily, my boys at Chaser, Mike says, hey, once we get our good 15-20 minute set together, they'll bring us in for a few shows with them and kind of help us out there, give us some opportunity to do some fun stuff. So, we'll see what happens. But just until then, check out our stuff.
That's what's up. So do what the man says. Go to the websites, listen to the music, buy a CD, buy vinyl, buy a shirt, support
We got
support local
plenty.
music. And Steve, you guys are killing it. Keep up the amazing work.
Thanks, Dave. So good to be in here with you. So thanks so much.
Right back at you. Hope you have a great night.
Awesome. You too. Take care.